We got this from the New York Post. SNL star Chloe Fineman says rude Elon made her cry. I burst into tears. Oh no, did an SNL cast member cry because Elon is mean? Okay, well, what did he do? Did he like hit her or something? Or what made her cry?
Okay, I just saw some news article about Elon Musk being like butthurt about SNL and his impression, but I'm like, you're clearly watching the show. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come out and say at long last that I'm the cast member that he made cry, and he's the host that made someone cry.
Okay,
maybe there's others, but I saw some articles and stuff, and I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. But I'm like, no, if you're gonna like go on your platform and be rude, like, guess what? You made Chloe Fineman, burst into tears because I stayed up all night writing this sketch. I was so excited. I came in, I asked if you had any questions, and you stared at me like you were firing me from Tesla and were like, it's not funny. I waited for you to be like, haha, JK. No, then you started pawing through my script, like flipping each page, being like, I didn't laugh once, not one time.
What's he supposed to say?
Cut to the sketch made it on, and it was like fine, and I actually had a really good time, and I thought you were really funny in it, but you know, have a little manners here.
So I'm just going to say this.
Really
I'm going to trigger all the feminists right now.
Women aren't funny. They just aren't. I'm just going to be honest. All female comedians suck, but they just suck.
Well, I'm going to pause right there and say Nikki Glaser is hilarious. And Casey Shornama is also hilarious. Look, I agree with you on the overwhelming majority of female comics.
Yeah, women are funny.
Because I'm always complaining how when I'm on Instagram, I follow Ryan Long and Danny Polishchuk, and their bits are hilarious.
I follow that too.
The emotional intelligence bit they did, women are more emotionally intelligent than us. Like, they have the emotional intelligence to complain and freak out when the flight gets canceled, even though it can't do anything. Like, it was a brilliant piece. And so I get recommended these comics. The female comics are only ever talking about sex.
Yeah, well, that's
like,
the
not
contemporary
interested.
ones. I mean, Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett, you know, these were funny women. Roseanne Barr.
I think Nikki
very
Glazer's
funny.
hilarious. Her roast of, it was like she roasted Alec Baldwin or whatever, was really good. And she's got a bunch of other funny bits. I've only seen a handful from Casey Shornama, but her bits are really funny. And she's like, you know, she kind of mocked wokeness a little bit in a way that I appreciated. But overwhelmingly, I largely agree. The issue I have here is not about female comics. It's that, dude, okay, guys, we need to make sure that if a woman is getting the job, she's getting the job because she's good at it, not because she's a woman.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's true for anybody, because I'll tell you why. I have been in meetings with people who clearly got the job because the company was like, we have a mandate to hire a woman.
Yeah.
And then you've got 4 guys, and they've each got like 5 million followers, and they're like, here's how I built my company, here's how I built my company. And there's someone who has none. And she's like, I have an idea. Why don't we do this thing? That's it's a terrible idea. And then we try to be nice, and we'll be like, okay, well, like, the reason that doesn't work is because of this. And then she's like, because I'm a woman, they won't listen to me. And we're like, no.
That's actually good.
Nothing to do with you being a woman. It's the problem is not that you're a woman. It's that you were put here because you're a woman, not because you had the skills.
Yeah.
And if they actually just put the people based on merit, sometimes you'd get women and they would be funny. And we would be like, that's actually a really good idea. What ends up happening is these companies hire women for the sake of hiring women. These women are then like, I worked so late on this sketch, and then Elon Musk said it was not funny, and I cried. And I'm like, you should be fired.
Yeah.
Like, the host came in, said it was not good. You should say, what can I do to make it funny? Do you have any ideas? And said she cried. You can't do the job.
It doesn't have
like,
to.
just
It
go.
doesn't have to be that way. Like, there's plenty of women writers who are perfectly good and won't, you know, freak out if they're told that their sketch isn't funny and can stand up for themselves. I don't think it needs to be that way. I think that a lot of this current generation of creators and whatever have been extremely coddled, and the women of the previous generations who really fought and worked hard to get to where they were, they're not going to cry over it. Tina Fey's not going to cry, whether you think she's funny or not. I happen to, but
she's great. 30 Rock was one of the best shows ever.
She's not gonna cry if you don't like her sketch. She's gonna be like, okay, so you don't like it, whatever. She's gonna do whatever she's gonna do. So I think that you could have had a fella out here crying as well, because people just don't have any backbone or stamina or work ethic.
But we would ridicule him for it.
She should be ridiculed.
Yes, like she should be
ridiculed. Yes.
But we don't. That's the issue, is that like so like men kind of have to live in a fact-based reality where their inadequacy leads to consequences. With women, it's like they can suck on a lot of things, and like, well, no pun intended, but they can suck at a lot of things and no one cares. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, you suck. And you'll criticize them and they'll cry or whatever. Like, why is there this influx of women on TikTok crying in their cars with their phone like
they're
this?
getting
They can't get a guy. Yeah.
They're getting views.
We don't roast them enough. We need to roast them more.
Oh yeah,
Libs
yeah.
of TikTok goes nuts on that.
Yeah.
She's amazing at roasting them.
Yeah.
Was it Richard Dawkins who said women aren't funny because they don't need to be?
Yes.
He was just like, they're not funny. It's like, why? Well, they don't need to be.
Yeah.
That's just it. There's a funny meme on where a guy in 4chan.
Well, Phyllis Diller was funny, and she wasn't very attractive. So, I mean, if you balance it out like that.
That's the thing. Like, I get what you're saying when you're like, women aren't funny. It's
Yeah,
like
in general.
generally speaking, but
Like 99%.
but then you get like there are women who are good, who are great comedians. Tina Fey, I think, is actually fantastic. You know, but it's more rare. And there's this funny meme on 4chan where a guy said,
Men are just better at everything, Tim.
men are better at object-oriented things.
Yeah.
So I feel like women are better. Well, let me.
We're better at everything. But keep
There's a
going.
meme where a guy said, "Will being funny make me more attractive to women?" And they said, "No, but being attractive will make you funnier to women." And that's true. A guy who is attractive will more likely succeed in social interactions than a guy who is not attractive. This is the meme where the guy.
That's always true. I
Right.
mean, more like the more attractive
It's
you
true for
are,
women, too.
the better stuff you get in life. Like, it just works out better for you in social interactions. You know, like, attractive people are hired more. Like, that's you know, Darwin, right?
I also want to say of like this woman on SNL where she cried because Elon said she wasn't funny, and she's like, she's making something out of it. Like, this is not something for you to. You should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
No, she should be ashamed. Yeah.
Yeah, and even more embarrassed that she made a video saying I cried because Elon didn't find me funny. It's like Elon is a guy who laughs at a dog meme on the internet. It's not hard to get him laughing with memes and like simple jokes. You should not be proud that he didn't find you funny.
But again, if this was a guy, he would never have the gall to get on the camera and be like, "Yeah, I didn't love my video," and like complaining about it. But women do this all the time because they can victimize themselves. Like that dumb chick that went, to Nick's house, like, wrote this whole paragraph victimizing herself, even though she was the antagonizer.
Because she knows she'll get attention for it.
Exactly.
The left will prop her up.
Yep.
And this is crazy because this is actually a political split that we're seeing in general. It's like the Democratic Party is the feminine, the Republican Party is the more masculine.
Yep.
In a lot of ways. And I'm not saying that hyperbolically. I'm saying the Democratic Party is largely female, and the Republican Party is more so male, not as largely male as the Democrat is. But millennial women are like 70% Democrat.
Yeah.
Overwhelmingly.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And they cry a lot. I mean, millennial women really do cry a lot.
So I'm just like ban social media at this point, because when Trump wins and you see 7,000 videos of women taking their phones out and filming themselves crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you?
It's really weird behavior too. I find
it's
that to be very
histrionics.
bizarre. Yeah.
It's literal. It's histrionics.
You know who's been killing it though is Justine Bateman. I've been loving her.
Mocking them all.
Yeah, well, she's been doing like critical reviews of liberal women crying. And they're really funny. She'll talk about their costume choices. She'll be like, "You're not really selling it." You know what I mean? Like, you really want to go back in, find it deep within yourself. She's wonderful. It's funny because her brother is, woke, Justin Bateman.
Well, it proves that feminism was a objective failure. You know what I mean? Because these women, because you mentioned millennials crying a lot. Well, the reason why they cry is because they bought into this hook, line, and sinker of I can have a career and have it all and make a bunch of money. And
I got to be honest too, though. It takes two to tango. Humans don't live in a vacuum. We have males and we have females, and there's too many guys who support these women who do this stuff.
Well,
of course, yeah. Feminism exists because of men.
Right. Men are a big part of the reason why women have so many abortions.
Literally, they're half the reason.
But I mean, like, there's a lot of encouraging. Hey, babe, have an abortion.
Well, the OnlyFans thing.
Yeah.
It's because it only. So I can criticize women on OnlyFans to a certain degree. I'm fairly libertarian, and I'm like, do whatever. I don't care. I got equal or more criticism for these guys because so many guys are like,
you mean the subscriber guys?
The simps?
I'm talking about guys in general who are like, it's so hard for me to find a date and do all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, first, if you're a guy who works hard, you're working out, you're improving yourself, you're studying, and you're having a hard time, I feel for you. Life is rough. If you're a guy who does all those things and then you're paying some woman on OnlyFans, you deserve exactly what you get.
I mean, the Simps, I've always said I've been very critical of Simps is that what they've done is they've created this economy, and the reason why women behave the way that they behave is because a lot of men have been Simps and like kind of just reaffirmed it or allowed it.
Right.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Dude, it's wild to see like these female streamers And the guys like
Talentless 304s, man.
well,
Most of them.
There was one story where a guy gave a woman like 10 grand.
Yeah.
And he wasn't rich.
Why?
He wasn't rich.
Why would you take a man's money like that? That is really insane. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that.
So there was some story a long time ago, and I'm probably getting the details wrong because it's been several years, but he had like saved up his life savings, had 10 grand, and he donated it to some streamer. And then she was like, wow, thank you so much. And then completely forgot about him, and he lost his mind.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just gave you everything, and you won't even talk to me. And she's like, bye, ban.
Yeah.
Later. Thanks for the money.
Yep. That's how it goes, man, with a lot of these female streamers.
These guys need to stop giving money to streamers. It's an economy that we don't need. Now, look, if you want to, go ahead, fine. But I'm telling you, it's not going to improve your life. It's only going to make everything worse. But these guys don't care.
Well, I've had, you know, people who appear to be men come into my DMs and like ask if they can give me money and stuff. And I'm just like, well, obviously I'm just going to block you now because that's super creepy and weird. And I don't need your money.
Well, yeah, what's your Cash App, right? That whole thing.
Right? But isn't that so bizarre? Like, I don't understand why somebody would want to give a girl money online that they don't know.
I think people need to own chickens. Okay? Because I think you watch the rooster and you'll understand these guys. When the rooster walks into the hens and starts pecking at the ground and then shuffling his feet around, I'm like, that's when the guy DMs the woman saying he's going to buy her stuff and take care of her. And she's just like, this is weird. This is not how it goes. You know what I mean?
Take a girl out, make her laugh, enjoy yourselves.
Life's not easy, but I think one of the big problems we have is, so as the saying goes, women are subject-oriented, men are object-oriented.
Yep.
These women, like this lady on SNL, made a video where she's like, I was crying. Well, aren't you supposed to make people laugh? Why are you trying to piss people off? And well, it's because her position is, let me garner as much sympathy as possible as a victim to generate followers, and then people will give me things.
I think that's weird.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.